Alright, class, this is another video for the course of me, just a little talking head here. This is with starting writing, particular with a focus on narration. Now, a few things that I'd like to focus on, at least very much to start with, are really interrelated, and they are purpose and audience. Now, anytime you get a writing assignment or assignment in general, or you have something you want to write about, you want to think about your purpose. What are you trying to get across? Why are you writing it? And not just that it was assigned for class, although that honestly is something that is really important, or if it's something, say, for a workplace and you've been assigned to do it, write this. Think of what your purpose is, what you are trying to accomplish through writing. And that comes into audience because you need to think of who you're writing toward. If you're just writing in a journal, sometimes you're writing for yourself and audience is less of a concern. But when you're writing for work, writing for the classroom, writing for even, say, a holiday letter for families, a lot of people have gotten those fairly recently, or maybe not, but where was I? Okay, audience. Thinking about audience. Now, one of the things that's built in for audience is when you're writing for this class, you're thinking that I am your audience. I am your instructor for the class. I am your audience. But we need to start thinking beyond that. Although I am the audience, I am going to be grading your essays. Try to think of your audience in a broader context. For the narrative, since it's a little bit more creative piece, you want to think of your audience as a more general public, those who would go out to buy a magazine or a journal or a collection of short essays, narrative essays, and read those. So thinking about a broader audience than just me. So you're not, when you refer to a you, which watch your use of second person, you are not just referring to me as the instructor. You have a different context. Now, going beyond audience for the narrative, think about audience for other essays, other academic essays, this class or other class. You want to think about your audience in a very general sense as college-educated adults. These are your peers, those who are going through college or those who have already finished college. So thinking of who you're writing toward. Some assignments will have a specific audience, specific people that you're writing toward, so you want to think about that as well. There's purpose and audience. The next thing is pet peeves. Now, I do have many. One of them is that second person you. It can be used incredibly effectively, but it is problematic in so many different ways, so I really do suggest you steer clear of it. The word you, unless you are referring to a specific you. I have many pet peeves when it comes to writing, as I'm sure you do as well. But some of those things are just those basic, boring old stories. When you look at the assignment sheet for the narrative, I do have some banned topics, which are only partially banned. You can write about them, but it needs to be done in a unique, interesting way. And that's where my pet peeve comes in. Writing about something that is not worth writing about, that is something told in a dull, boring way. For example, graduating from high school or going to senior prom. They're not particularly interesting unless something unique, interesting, funny, captivating happened during that. Winning a football game is not of particular interest. Is there something about it that is of interest? When you think of, say, for example, movies that are often narratives, sports movies, okay, it's not just about a team that wins, it's something about why that team winning is important, or about the players. There's a narrative, a construct, and real interest factor, a humanity that's important. And so that's where it comes in. Pet peeve, put it that way, is narrative essays that do not include humanity. This is about you, so hopefully it does include humanity. Which then brings into style. Style is hard to teach. We don't have time for it. This video is already running about 5 minutes. But style is something important in all types of writing, but especially in narrative writing. Getting some sort of voice, some sort of attitude. Read some of the essays that we have that are coming up. I'm just going to quick scroll. You've got Kent Meyer's Birds Against the Glass. It has voice, attitude, style, but then you compare it to, say, for example, David Sedaris' Big Boy, which is very short, but it's got so much voice to it, so much attitude, and it's a silly little story. Most often I refer to it as the poop story. And Brenda Peterson's Growing Up Game, it's got attitude. Susanna Kaysen's Ice Cream, definite attitude, and again, another very short piece. There's many other narratives out there, but when you think about voice, attitude, persona, style, try to think of what is your style, what is your attitude, and go for that. See you at the next video.